You know, I was astounded when I heard the comments of the leader of the minority party in the House of Representatives just several days ago when she referred to those who were concerned about this decision by the President of the United States and his Secretary of HHS as using religious liberty as an excuse. What an insult to those men and women of good faith who have expressed their concern about how this will require them to either violate their consciences or pay fines in tribute to the federal government. Interestingly enough, Alex de Tocqueville said this about Catholics. The American Catholics are faithful to the observance of their religion. Nevertheless, they constitute the most republican and the most democratic class of citizens which exists in the United States. Although this fact may surprise some observers at first, the causes by which it is occasioned may easily be discovered upon reflection. What he suggested was the consciences of Catholics who utilized their consciences to bring to the public debate did not undermine America, it fortified America. We've crossed this bridge before. Unfortunately, it were those who claimed to be Republicans in the 1800s who led the fight against men and women of conscience who happened to be Catholics. This caused Abraham Lincoln to say these words in a letter to Joshua Speed in 1855. As a nation, we began by declaring that all men are created equal. We now practically read it, all men are created equal except Negroes. When the know-nothings get control, it will read, all men are created equal except Negroes and foreigners and Catholics. What did it mean? The know-nothings feared that Catholics would bring their conscience and their values of faith to the public debate. We've been across this bridge before. We should not accept it. It's not just Catholics. It is men and women of all religious beliefs, and even those of no religious beliefs, who understand that a government that commands that you do something against your conscience is a government that can basically take anything away from you, and in this case, perhaps the most precious thing there is in you, your faith. We cannot let it stand. It is a question of the culture of America, the tradition of America, the First Amendment to the Constitution of America. This is a serious debate because it questions whether anybody in government can basically tell you that you must check your religious values at the door. Interestingly enough, just a week and a half ago, I was present when I heard the President speak at the National Prayer Breakfast and say he does not, and we do not, and we cannot check our religious values at the door. That's precisely what this edict, and that's what it is, this edict does. We ought to understand. We speak not just for Catholics. We speak not just for Christians. We speak not just for Jews, for Muslims, for Hindus, for people of faith, and for those who have no faith. We speak for all Americans in understanding that the First Amendment is not made up of mere words. It is made up of first principles, and we cannot allow first principles to be cast aside. That's why we must stand in unity against this rule, this unprincipled, this unlawful, this unconstitutional rule that has no basis, in fact, has no basis in the Constitution, and has no basis in the culture of this country properly understood.